What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to Aaron for the $10 donation via the PayPal. He says, quote, your old school, new school basketball vids, tremendous. Even my two young daughters have been intrigued and confused with your take on Larry Bird. LOL. Be well. Well, first of all, shout out to Aaron and thank you for the donation, man. Big time support of this channel. Um, you know, I can understand them being intrigued because it's something different. It's something that they're not used to hearing. A lot of the mainstream media analysts, I think they are pressured to say certain things in their articles. It's almost, I hesitate to use this term, man, but a lot of times when I read a lot of these articles, it's almost like a cult of personality type thing where they have to sort of push this narrative about certain players where it's almost like they're worshipped, like you can't question certain things about their legacy. And if you look at the boob tube, and you look at you know social media, you have analysts and journalists and writers who are guilty of this. If you say something that's contrary to that, it's like you don't know what you're talking about, or you're just a hater, or you're stuck in the past, or you have ulterior motives. When it could just be, I just don't think that this guy is better than Larry Bird prime for prime. He might have a better career, but I don't think he's a better basketball player. And I'm not going to change my opinion just to suit the majority, you know. But I appreciate the fact that at least they're intrigued. May not be convinced yet, but they're intrigued by it. And once again, thank you, Aaron, for showing love to the channel. Big time New York Knicks fan. Watched basketball since the 1960s. So he's the authentic. And I want to thank everybody that supports this channel and Too Raw for Sports. And if you want to show love, if you choose to, you can do so in the links in the description box below via the PayPal or the Cash App in the pinned comment below in the comment section. I want to reiterate something that Ticket TV said, right? Talking about Kevin Durant. Now, yesterday I did a video on this channel saying if the Brooklyn Nets, and I did this before the game yesterday, if the Brooklyn Nets don't make the playoffs, KD's tenure with the Brooklyn Nets will have been a failure. And they lost the game. And Jason Tatum poured in 54 points, which to me is much more impressive than what LeBron did the other day. And I'm going to talk about that on my other channel. Okay? Because I'm saying a little bullshit going on here. But anyway, I believe Brooklyn is under 500. And you had KD and Kyrie in the game, so it's no excuse. And I don't want to hear about, him dropping 37. It doesn't matter. They lost. They had both of them and they lost. At the end of the day, this team was too talented to have had the results that they've had. Okay? This team, when it was constructed at the beginning of last year, even I fell for the Kool-Aid. I thought this team would go no less than 65-17 on the year, and they would sweep through the playoffs and win a championship. This team was underwhelming during the regular season. They were the second seed, but you could argue they should have finished first because Philly had the first seed, if I'm not mistaken. And they lost in the second round to Milwaukee Bucks after blowing a 2-0 lead. And you can talk about the injuries and all of that shit. Look, at the end of the day, injuries are a part of the game. And let's not act like Kevin Durant hasn't been on teams that haven't benefited from injuries as well. because the Warriors benefited from teams being injured in the playoffs, not having their full roster. I remember one year, if I'm not mistaken, C.J. McCollum got hurt for the Portland Trailblazers. Excuse me. Nobody gave a fuck about that. You know, uh, 2016, if I'm not mistaken, every series that the Warriors played, a key guy was out for their opponent. So you still got to get it done. You still got to overcome. That's what you have the bench for, to compensate in case a man goes down. Unless Kevin Durant has been in a position where his team has been supremely stacked, he does not get it done. And Golden State, look, he had every right to go to Golden State. Okay, I'm not taking that away from him. He has a right to go to Golden State. That's his right as a free agent. I understand that 100%. But let's not forget that he joined a team that won 70 games. It'll be like it would have been like Grant Hill joining the Bulls after they won 72 games. Now the Bulls won a championship that year, but would that have been fair to the NBA? Let's not forget something here. George Gervin, who I compare to Kevin Durant, George Gervin almost joined the Lakers, and I mean the Showtime Lakers with Magic, Kareem when he was younger in the early '80s. I can't remember whether James Worthy was there by then. It might have been right before he got there. But he would have joined the Showtime Lakers. Do you know why it didn't happen? Because the NBA nixed that trade. And you know why they nixed it? Because they said it would have upset the competitive balance of the NBA. Remember, that used to be something that the league cared about. That's why they nixed the Chris Paul trade. Him going to New York, him going to the Lakers to play with Kobe. David Stern nixed that trade because of the fact that he felt it would have ruined the competitive balance of the NBA. Whether he thought that was a bullshit excuse or not. That's my only issue. And when Kevin Durant was on a team that wasn't so overly stacked, hell, even you could argue with this team, it is stacked. He still didn't get it done. we gotta be honest here, man. Look, there's a lot of revisionist history going on. I remember that 2016 Western Conference Finals when the Thunder blew that 3-1 lead. And yes, a lot of it was Russell Westbrook playing hero ball and trying to split double teams and turn the ball over and all types of dumb shit. But I also remember Kevin Durant disappearing. I remember Kevin Durant disappearing in the four quarters. I remember Kevin Durant getting the ball stripped from him from 6'1" midgets coming off the bench for the Warriors. I remember him getting shut down in the four quarters. I remember him having to resort to shooting 25-foot three-pointers because for some reason Kevin Durant couldn't get a shot off. Not a good shot, not a good quality shot, because the Warriors defense all of a sudden just shut him down. Sort of like how the great defenses used to shut down George Gervin in the playoffs. You know, George Gervin is all-time great scorer during the regular season, but when he went up against a great team like the Lakers in the playoffs, often than not, he was mediocre. Or sometimes he got shut down. Neither one of these guys, Westbrook or Durant, was getting it done in crunch time. They played great basketball for 45 minutes, but in the last 3 minutes, they act like they forgot how to play basketball. You know, that's what I remember about this series. But everyone want to make it on Russell Westbrook when it was both of them. So KD, not being the leader that he is, ran from his own team. That was his team. The Thunder, that was his fucking team, man. Like I said, man, look, the guy can do what he want to do, man. But he ran from his own fucking team, to go play with the Golden State Warriors. Okay, fine. Fine. You know, I mean, that's his team. I mean, that's his choice to go there. But then you let fucking Draymond Green run you out of fucking Golden State. Because you're not a leader there. He punked your ass. That's where I go. That's where I'm going. The fuck, man? And you're not being a leader here. That's the problem. He's not a fucking leader. So at the end of the day, no, I can't rank him. I know what the media is doing. They're trying to over exaggerate the rankings of these players and bring down Jordan's. I noticed the shit. They over exaggerate the rankings of players today. They're bringing down the rankings of players in Jordan's era, but funny they're creeping Pippen up. Pippen always been in the 35 to 40 range. Where has he been in the 20s now? Why is he number 19? Since when do people put Scottie Pippen ahead of Charles Barkley? That never happened. Never. I don't give a fuck how many rings Pippen have. Nobody ever ranked Scottie Pippen higher than Charles Barkley. I'm not gonna fall for the bullshit. I know the okie doke when I see it. So no, Kevin Durant is not top 15. He's not top 20, in my opinion. He belongs somewhere around where Kevin Garnett is. I put him right there. 20, I'll be fair and put him 20 to 25. I put him right there because he does have the 2 championships and the 2 finals MVPs. But he's not top 10 and he's not top 13. And Steph Curry is not in that area either. There's a lot of bullshit going on with the sports media putting Steph Curry ahead of Isaiah Thomas and Oscar Robertson. There's enough bullshit going on. But anyway, that's all I got to say, man. Tell me what you guys think.